Welcome back. I'm Crispy, and I care about fast combat. I care about you. I care about your games. I want you to have fast, exciting combat. Got a nice hot drink here. I'm expecting, by the time I finish making this video, this drink is still going to be piping hot. Because it's fast combat. Fast combat, folks, means it's moving. Now, I've got a little bit of a bee in my bonnet about this fast combat topic, because there's a lot of advice out there, and I have to be honest with you. You know I'm going to always be honest with you. I am not seeing the application of this advice be fruitful. But you know what? This could change. It could change. All it takes is that right combination of great advice and then showing how that advice is applied to make all the difference in the world. So we've got a new one here for you, folks. Excuse me. Drinking the tea fast too. It's not herbal tea. I do want to sleep at some point. All right, that jazz track was nice, but let's get right into it here. Let's listen to 5 tips for lightning fast combat. Let's go. We've got Mr. GM Philosopher here. GM Philosophy is a channel. It's a bigger channel than mine, quite a bit, 10 times the size. So fair game.
Welcome back to my channel. I'm the GM Philosopher, and today we're talking about 5 tips for...
Whoa, I'm sorry. You got a sneak peek of how Crispy normally watches videos. Let's slow that down. We're going to slow it down. We're not going to go right to normal speed, Mr. Philosopher, because we do want to get onto the meat of the matter, the meat and potatoes, the application of this advice. But let's hear it first. All right, here we go. This isn't going to be quite so chipmunk. I know some of you really hate this.
Super fast player combat, how you can make your combat feel lightning fast, even though in D&D sometimes there's a bit of a temptation to really drag things out and make things last longer. It has been said...
Yeah, there is. Now, I'm not sure it's a temptation to drag it out, other than it's the way that the game is being played drags it out. Temptation, to me, infers that, you know, the normal state of affairs would be a lot faster, but I'm just so enticed with snail pace, glacial speed combat that I keep falling back into it. Dang it, you slow combat. Why do you tempt me so?
Said that D&D is a game where one trip across an entire jungle, which would in-game take 3 weeks, can take 15 minutes, whereas in-game, when it comes to combat, a 1 to 2 minute combat can sometimes take up 3 hours of time. And the reason for this is because there are a lot of statistics, a lot of numbers, and if we allow ourselves to go too deeply down that hole of like...
Is it just the numbers that slow down combat, though? I'm not sure.
Caring more about the numbers than the role play, then we can absolutely get stuck in a place where combat feels a little bit slow, especially when it comes time to like look up spells, comes time to like look up damage numbers, comes time to read up on extra rules, etc. Well, today I'm here to give you my 5 tips for how I avoid this. I have had great fortune in this area because I have a great understanding party who has allowed me to experiment with different things, and we care about fast combats. In my group, we don't...
I do too.
Want to take, 15 minutes out during one player's turn to like look up rules and crunch
15 minutes during one player's turn? I'm with you. We don't want one player's turn to ever be 15 minutes. Unless he's the only player. And even then, I don't want a 15-minute turn.
Numbers. We want the numbers to matter. We want the players to matter. We want the roles to matter. But we want to do it in a way that facilitates quick movement, fast combat resolution, and immersive storytelling. And the best way to do this is to make combat go fast, but not go so fast that you skip over player importance, character importance, and immersion. So here's my 5 tips for how to make it happen. Tip number 1, roll only for initial initiative. This may...
Okay, roll only for... Now, you can explain this a little bit. Give us an example of this.
Seem like a strange thing. Some people may feel like they have reason to push back on this, and understandably so. But I have learned that a lot of times when the characters roll for initiative, I have 2 paths. I can either write down all the initiatives and then roll for the enemies and write down all their initiatives and then do the math and line them up and da-da-da.
Okay. So you're talking about... Now, hold on. I've got a few of your games up. Do we have any of your games where you show us this? Because the games... Now, granted, Mr. Philosopher, I've only watched episode 8, episode 9, not the whole thing of episode 9. I really struggled with episode 9, and episode 10 of your Barren Lands D&D campaign. Each episode's around 3 hours long. In every episode, I see a full initiative tracker thing that you're saying you don't need to do that, right?
Or I can just roll for initiative, and whoever wins gets initiative, and then the play just progresses in a clockwise fashion around the
Makes sense. Clockwise fashion around the table. That makes perfect sense. Okay.
table. I find that is so much faster, and you get into combat literally like 4 or 5 minutes sooner with a lot less headache and a lot less sitting around. And when you're just sitting around at the beginning of combat, that's when that kind of slowness and that, oh, come on, like we just want to get into this combat, like that can come in, that fatigue. You can get rid of that by rolling only for initial initiative and then just going around the table. That still makes initiative matter, but it doesn't make it so that you have to do a whole calculation to determine play order. Tip number 2, don't obsess over NPC stats. You know what?
Okay. So far, we got tip number 1. Only roll for initial initiative. And what he meant by that, according to his example, was just determine who goes first and then just do clockwise around the table. All right. I can see how that would be faster. I'm liking it so far. Tip 2 is don't obsess over NPC stats. Just quick on the fly. All right. Makes sense.
Some combats, your NPC stats may be well laid out. You may have anticipated it. Or your character might have gotten in a fight at a bar and there are 5 NPCs, enemies, that you have no idea what their stats are. Rather than taking time to like flesh those out, rather than agonizing over that, rather than even taking time to flip through the book to find an NPC stat block to use, go off the top of your head. When that fighter rolls to hit your character, what level is he probably? Is he probably level 3? Like add 3 to his roll. He's rolling a strength. What's his strength? Probably a 2. Roll on it. What's he using? Short sword. Roll a d6. Add 3. This is his damage roll. Easy stuff. How many hit points does he probably have? 25. 25 hit points is great. Mark that down. What's his armor class? Probably 12. 13. Maybe 13 if he's wearing like some kind of armor of any kind. Maybe 14 if he's a trained fighter. Okay, treat it like that. You don't have to go so in depth. Spellcaster, what are they casting? It comes down to the spellcaster in the tavern. You know what it is? It's magic missile. Boom. Roll 3d4s. Roll the damage. You're done. Move on. Be thinking about the next spell he's going to cast. What's it going to be next? Hold person. Or maybe he's going to cast a cantrip. Maybe he's not that high level. Maybe he's going to be Ray of Frost, something like that, right? So you just have to be thinking about what's a fast way, common sense way I can move combat along without holding things up, but still make the numbers matter, right? So don't obsess over the NPC stats. Just do what you got to do. Mark down what you got to mark down. Make it up as you go. Common sense. Keep it simple. And there are a lot more important things than NPC stats, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But next, we're going to go to tip number 3, overlap turns. Look, you...
Oh, okay. This is interesting. Haven't heard this before. Overlap turns. Let's see where this goes.
May have a wizard in your party, may have a bard in your party, cleric, someone whose spells are a little more complicated. Maybe they perform an action. Maybe they say they're casting a spell. You say, okay, what's it do? And they say, oh, let me look it up. You realize it's either going to take you or them maybe 60 seconds to look it up and understand the spell. That's 60 seconds where you don't need to necessarily sit down and wait. What I would do in that situation is either I would have my rules lawyer. I have a player in my group who literally is called the rules lawyer. It's his job to look up rules for me. As a GM, I give him an inspiration point at every session, and I reward.
That doesn't sound like it's going to speed anything up.
Him with magic items over time to perform this very, very vital function. I might say, hey, would you look that up for me? And then it's like, we're going to move to the next turn. Let me know when you have that. We're going to come back to it, right? It's better.
Overlapping turns mean you just move to the next player and then come back to the other one? I'm not so sure. I'm a little skeptical on this one, Mr. Philosopher. I'm just a little skeptical that, okay, your turn's going a little fast, so we're going to just go to the next person and then we're going to come back to you?
To move forward, have someone working on that and then come back to it rather than just sitting on it and then not taking any turns, right?
Okay, but couldn't this then introduce another complication, which is you're in your order because your tip 1 was you just establish who goes first and then it's just going to go around the table clockwise, counterclockwise, whatever it is. And that's going to be fast because then we're not fussing around with I got a 14, I got a 13. Okay, you're just going to go in order. But now if you overlap turns, then how is that going to, you're going to have to remind them, okay, whose turn is it after? Because we went back. You're breaking this tip here seems to be a little different than tip 1. In fact, they seem to be working a little against each other.
Keep the action moving. There's nothing wrong with overlapping turns like this. And sometimes it might matter, but if it matters, then you just rationalize it by saying, you know what, that spell took you a little more than a turn to cast. That's how we're going to rule it because we were looking stuff up and I want to keep combat going. So let's treat it like that, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That's kind of immersive. And there's actually good.
Immersive? It's a rationalization, yeah. I don't know if I'd call it immersive.
good reason for that, especially if in your crowded tavern, it's a smoky atmosphere, maybe the player's a little intoxicated, whatever, right? All right, now let's go on to tip number 4. Focus on drama and description just as much as numbers.
Okay, descriptions as much as numbers. This will be an interesting one. This will be interesting. I advocate, Mr. Philosopher, I advocate that things are faster if you just focus on describing what is observed rather than background stuff that's not observed.
Okay, now in the tavern brawl, you may think to yourself, man, I feel kind of bad. This rogue who's pickpocketing them, I didn't have a stat block for him. I didn't anticipate them catching him. So I'm okay, add +2 to roll. What is it for sneak attack? I'm going to roll D6. Does he have any armor on? I'm going to give him a +2 armor class. We're going to say he's got some leather armor on, whatever it is, right? So you're doing these things. But more important than those numbers is how the characters perceive him in a roleplay sense. So for example, fighter says, I swing my longsword at the rogue. He rolls an 11, misses the 13 armor class. You say, the rogue picks up a chair. He catches the longsword in it and then kind of throws it to the side. The fighter you might describe as being, you're tempted to be surprised. This is a different technique. He's using sort of a tavern brawling technique you've not seen. I'll tell you what, roll a history check. See if you've ever seen this before. When you were studying martial arts, see if you've seen anything like this. Roll. So like, this is actually a specific kind of like untrained combat that leads you to believe that this rogue, whoever he is, has fought a lot, but he probably has close to 0 formal training. Because the truth is, no martial master would ever teach you to do this. So this.
Okay, a lot to unpack here. I liked the beginning of this example where he describes the rogue grabs a chair, flips it upside down, catches the sword in it, turns the sword away. That's it. Just describe what the players see. But you went from that to straight into history check. How is interrupting a dynamic scene with this cool thing where the opponent does something unexpected, the player has a chance to roleplay his character's natural, in-the-moment reaction to that. Instead, you're going to go into an exposition dump based on a history check. I don't see how that is going to be. I was hoping you were going to go a different way with this. I was hoping you were going to say, look, don't worry so much about giving all of the, he has this +1 because he has this feat, and he has this because of this. And no, just describe what they see. Their characters see this and nothing else. And if it's something unexpected, then they can roleplay it being unexpected. Fantastic. Let them do it. Instead, you're playing the fighter's reaction to what your rogue just did. How is you, as the game master, stepping in and playing the character now? And oh yeah, you're now surprised because he did this. That's not faster.
This is an interesting thing to tell the fighter, right? So the numbers are one thing. He missed the armor class, whatever. But rather than just focusing on that, you could say these other things. Give him something other than numbers to think about that matter. Give his player some agency by letting him discover it, right? This is very important, even during combat, these little role.
His player didn't discover it. You told him it.
Play things. This makes players feel so much more immersion, and it makes them feel more significant, which is awesome. If you can make a player feel significant in a combat, whether or not they did damage, whether or not they, their AC was good enough, whether or not the spells worked, whatever, if you can give them significance, this makes the combat rewarding anyway. All right, now let's move on to number 5. Final tip. Rather than hard numbers, focus on making players feel like their turns mattered. Okay, so for example, let's say, for example, that I have a spellcaster who has been really struggling with their spellcasting for some reason. Like maybe they're distracted and their spells fail, or maybe they're rolling spells and they're trying to hit things and they're missing. Like let's say that we have a warlock who's trying to Eldritch Blast and they're just not hitting nothing. Their Eldritch Blasts are just missing. And you're threatening to feel like that character is going to feel down about it. They're like, what if this character does not feel like they're being an important part of combat? Well, you can fix this and this is so important. And rather than just saying, oh, you missed, move on. This is so much more important because you want players to feel significant, because they are actually significant. The fact that they're players.
Let the players take care of that. The GM's role is not to give the players a back rub in the middle of combat to make them feel like it's okay. Here's something, though, along these lines with your example. Those Eldritch Blasts that miss, what do they hit? Do they just disappear? Oh, they missed the target, so they're just... or do they hit whatever is behind the opponent? Where do those errant shots go? Maybe there's something that can be done with that. Maybe if you have a player that's playing a character that does the same thing every time and then just gets upset because they're using a luck dice and their luck dice isn't in their favor for that particular night, and that's the mechanic of the system, got to roll my luck dice. Maybe the problem is the player isn't role-playing their character. Wouldn't the character in that moment, it's combat after all, wouldn't the character become frustrated? Role-play that. Can't a warlock do something other than Eldritch Blast? Is there nothing else that the warlock can do? Is that the only thing they can do?
It means that they are a significant part of the story, and it means that they matter in a huge way to what's going on, and they are the focal point of the story. So if my warlock shoots Eldritch Blast, misses, what I'm going to say is, and that sets up, and let's say this happened like 3 times in a row. Let's say that I can tell that this is getting the warlock down. They're starting to feel like, when their turn comes up, they get 1 dice roll. It takes them 5 seconds to realize they did nothing, and then that's the end of their turn. I don't want that to be the case. So here's what I'm going to do. 3rd time, I'm going to say, you fire your Eldritch Blast, but I'm going to give a little extra thing. I'm going to say, I want you to describe what it looks like. You've missed.
They should always be describing what it looks like. Not on the 3rd whiff. Oh, you whiffed for 3 times? Okay, guess what? Here's a carrot. I'm going to give you a little pat on the head. No, every time. Describe what is seen.
Twice. What does it look like when your character fires this Eldritch Blast? I really want you to focus on this. There's a roleplay element here. There's a chance that you can accomplish a little extra something if you satisfy some certain variables. So I want you to describe it for me. I want to
What variables? Missing 3 times in a row and now you get to roleplay?
really figure out what you're doing. So maybe they'll describe, I go down like this and I raise up my hand and I fire under the table and I try to hit them in the leg, whatever it is. Right?
If they're doing that, they're role-playing it, fantastic. Problem solved. And it misses, it hits something. What does it hit? The Eldritch Blast missed the target, but it hits something.
Right. Then you add on to it. Because they took the time to role play that out for you, you say, when you do...
It doesn't take more time to role play it out. Your example is fantastic, Mr. Philosopher. I say Mr. Philosopher. Your GM philosophy. Mr. Philosophy. Your description, under the table, shooting under the table, that's fantastic. That does not take extra time. Not really. Not appreciably. Yes, it takes a little, I suppose, it takes a little more time than just Eldritch Blast, Eldritch Blast, Eldritch Blast. I can't hear that expression without thinking of that meme of the kid with all the veins sticking out of his neck and his forehead, like really straining at an old TV or computer monitor, and the caption says like warlock player waiting to say I cast Eldritch Blast. Just waiting. Anyway, you probably know the one I'm talking about.
Fire this character who's been dodging your Eldritch Blasts. And by the way, every time you fire another one, it feels like you're getting closer. It feels like this person's fast. In fact, in your limited
oh, what if they miss the 4th time? Just have them. First of all, if something misses, it goes somewhere else. Like, where does it go? It goes whatever's behind. Collateral damage, maybe? Who knows? Maybe something else interesting. It misses the leg. It hits the chair. The chair shatters. Now the target's lay on his back on a smoldering chair. How many hit points does that bar stool have?
Experience in combat, you think to yourself, this person is squirrely. Like, I've never had this much trouble hitting somebody.
Stop telling the players what they think.
But this last blast, you try really hard, you shoot, but it misses, but it barely misses. And when they dodge it, they stumble slightly. And this gives the next player advantage on their roll. And then maybe the next player's a fighter.
All right. I got the idea. Let's take a look at some of your games. I've taken games here. Now, look at this. Mr. Philosophy, I don't know about this, because it really does look like your tip number 1 is not being used here. I've pulled up this actual play. It's not an old one. and I see an initiative tracker here. It doesn't look to me like it's. I could be wrong. Maybe you're doing an order. Is this an order? Like you just rolled, as you said. Tip number 1: roll only for initial in initiative, and then everyone just goes in order. So I'm thinking Hector won initiative. He got the highest initiative score, and then after Hector is William, and then Bailey, and then I think it's Lucas at the bottom. Is that how it goes? No, not really. All right. Well, I'm a little disappointed because I thought that was an interesting tip for faster combat, but it doesn't appear to me that you're actually doing that. Let's watch a little bit.
She'll do 8 points of damage.
8 points to that first scorpion.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's what she. Let me see. So yeah, because she doesn't have her.
It gets hit in the between the carapace again, right above Soul's head. Soul, you see the arrow whistle by and slam into the creature. The creature's looking pretty rough now at this point.
Okay, let me see if I want to do a bonus here. Okay, so anyway, she'll go ahead and do another one
against that same scorpion.
Yeah, and that will be a 22 to hit. So
22 to hit. That will hit for sure.
Oh, she's not doing good. 8 points of damage.
8 points. The creature is still up, but it's bleeding everywhere, bleeding all over Kelf.
And will do another 15.
Another 15 damage.
No, to hit.
15 to hit will hit.
All right. That would be another 11 damage.
So, Kelf, you feel the claw that's grappling you on that first one. You feel it loosen as the creature falls to the ground, motionless, as Valenti's arrows render it dead, and it is now bleeding out.
Beautiful.
And then, while this is happening, I don't remember. Does anybody have rope?
Kerrigan's like, I have rope.
Okay, Kerrigan has rope. Okay. She's going to move, I guess, to here and about right here, so she can have eyes on the other scorpion and this mole creature, and then we'll try to grab it. But I don't know if she can do that in that round. She's moving her movement there, and then she'll just try to grab it if possible.
Oh, grab the rope?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kerrigan, you would see that it's like coiled up on her backpack, basically, and you could quickly grab it.
Okay. And that will be for her movement.
All right. Now it is Kerrigan's turn. Kerrigan, she is going to...
Kerrigan's an NPC. So we're looking at tip 2, right? Don't obsess over NPC stats. It should be just quick.
She's going to go over here. You're going to see that she pulls her bolo off of her belt, and she starts to swing it. Can she do it from here? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. She has to move a little closer. You hear this as she swings her bolo, and then she throws it. You see the rocks tied to the cord fly over the first scorpion, and she's trying to bolo the second scorpion. Let me roll on this. Oh, she gets it. Okay, it has to make a DC 13 Dex saving throw or be restrained. Oh, it makes it. She tries to bolo it, but unfortunately it is able to move its legs enough to keep the bolo from wrapping around the legs. Kerrigan is like, damn it. And then she's going to use the rest of her movement to pull back and ready her staff. All right, it is now Soul's turn.
So,
Okay. It was this guy, William. Then it was an NPC. Now it's the guy on the bottom. So we're definitely not doing tip number 1.
am I still grappled?
No, you are not grappled.
Okay. As I'm no longer grappled, I am going to look down at 13, and I'm going to say, "You're wise to take cover, young one." Or not young one, little one. And then I'm going to kind of like pulse my wings a bit and take flight as much as I can get over these scorpions. I want to get to here on the other side of them.
So you can do that, but
I'm going to incur an opportunity attack.
Yeah, a second scorpion will get a chance to tail whip you.
Okay.
Are you okay with that risk?
Totally.
Are you okay with that risk? No. You want lightning fast combat. The player says what the character does. You don't give them the, "Are you sure? Hey, if you do that, you know this is going to happen." Does the character have some kind of precognition active? I don't think so.
All right, so here we go. We go for the tail whip. It would be a 15. Does that?
Okay, that misses.
Okay, so you see the tail like you like dodge it.
Okay, so as I fly over them, I land behind the other scorpion. My wings are kind of like furled around me. I actually looked it up. They are the same energy as my breath weapons. They're made of fire.
Oh, nice.
And so as I stand up, I have my sword and shield in hand, and I like spread my arms out, and I look at her and I say, "You think the cold gives you power? That darkness hides in your wickedness? No more. I am the light that burns in the black. I'm the fire of the heart of dawn. By Lathander's will and the fury of the rising sun, burn, witch!" And I will use my channel divinity for my solar flare. So the two scorpions and Vira need to make dexterity saving throws.
Okay. So here's there's only one. This scorpion is dead, actually. So
He's just dead. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So this one is okay. Its dex saving throw is an 18 flat.
Okay.
And then hers, let me double check here what she has. So she gets to add a 7 to her dex. So she makes 15.
Okay, so that is going to succeed. So they're each going to take 8 fire damage.
Okay, 8 fire damage.
Dang. I was really hoping they would have failed that and caught on fire.
I know, it would have been really nice. I think she just barely made it.
She did, yeah.
Okay. But it still hurts her. You see the flame hit her and she's like, "Ah!" She looks like it hurts her. Her face is half her face is like literally burned to a crisp from your that thing you shot at her. She's literally, if she survives, a whole half her face is going to be just melted. And she's looking at you and she just...
Okay, it's 6 seconds, people. It's 6 seconds. The player's monologue, while I appreciate the flavor of it, it's too long.
Has this look of rage in her eye. Anyway, you can continue your turn.
That is going.
It's not over yet. What do you mean? You monologued for more than 6 seconds. It's your turn, and you did the cool flying and the wings, and it's very. I don't mind the turn. It's just it seems a little long, and now it's going to keep going.
That's going to be my turn because.
Yeah. Good. Excellent.
Not
right on,
much.
Lucas.
Actually, no. Actually, I am going to use my bonus action for lay on hands. So I am going to heal myself for 14 hit points to get myself back up to max.
All right.
And it just kind of looks as if the flames I just exploded out are pulled back into me, healing my wounds.
Gotcha. Okay. So now it would be Hector's turn. But quick before Hector goes, she's going to do a free action. She's just going to like look at you and kind of get in a stance. And she's like, my master thinks you're special. I think you're especially dead. She like snaps at you. Anyway, all right. It is now Hector's turn.
Hector, seeing that the mole creature's enraged and engaged with Lotto, will attempt to step up behind it a bit.
Roll us. Are you trying to sneak past it?
No, not this time. I'm just
okay.
going up to that position behind it.
Okay.
And we'll use a second level guiding bolt on the mole man.
Oh, gotcha. Rolled a hit.
Oh, you.
Oh, was it a 10? Was it a 10? Is that with bonuses?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
It was a 19 and then rolled onto 3.
Oh, you shoot, but the guiding bolt just hits its natural armor and breaks.
Yeah, that's...
Okay, so I'm looking for tip 5. Make players' turns matter. Hector is not pleased with this turn. So here's this. I'm not sure how this is going to speed it up, but it was tip 5.
It. I haven't got anything.
Do you have
else.
any other actions or bonus actions?
No.
Now, at the end of your turn, Vyra is going to take a legendary action.
Okay, so where was tip 5? Let's skip ahead. This is episode 9. I'm glad there's a different map because, spoiler alert, episode 10, we're back to the same situation that we were in episode 8. Each one of these is over 3 hours long. Episode 9. Okay, we're watching a turn here, and I've paused it right where, I hope this is the right place, where the GM here is called for an attack roll.
Keep leading for the next hour.
Roll to hit.
Okay, here we go. Roll to hit. That, to me, sounds like combat. Roll to hit. Let's see what happens.
On your chest.
So that's...
We're going to need a timestamp here. Okay, roll to hit happened at 2:56:10.
next hour.
Roll to hit on your chest.
So that's 8. Oh my God.
Oh, was that a fumble?
Yeah.
Would that have come before she ran away?
No, she would cast her bonus first.
Okay. So go ahead and show where her movement is taking her.
Well, she knows that everybody else is back south, so she's going to try to go this direction. Hopefully, Kerrigan goes a different.
As she breaks away, she sees this thing swing at her with its sword, and it's just, the blade just swings with the force of, just an incredible force. She hears the wind whistle past her ear, but unfortunately for the creature, she was too quick, and she evaded it. But she thinks to herself, "Oh my God, what if that had hit me?" Like that was like an unhuman amount of force that it just swung its blade with. And then it screeches. And then as she's running, she hears this, and Kerrigan's bolo tries to wrap up.
That's the NPC.
Up the creature. You see the bolo hit the creature, and then with this with a shrug, the bolo just snaps into a bunch of pieces, and then it starts pursuing you through the woods, and you hear Kerrigan crash through the brush going the opposite way. And And that's where you're at right at the moment. Like you're kind of running, like there's weeds, branches hitting you in the face, and behind you, you hear this thing like whooshing through the air, flying after you.
So the only other thing that she would do is just use another bonus to cast Hunter's Mark on it.
Oh, okay.
And then she would, she's not going to use Pass Without Trace yet, unless it gets really close. But she's going to use Hunter's Mark to try to keep a sense of where it is. But for the next minute, she can dash. So that's 60 plus 60. So she can dash 120 feet.
So she's basically going to just try to outrun it going, it looks like east.
She doesn't want to outrun it to where it loses interest. So every now and then she might throw another arrow to keep it heading her way.
Okay.
But that's what she's going to try to do is for the next hour, and maybe try to lead it and run for that hour. So she's going to save her spell that gives her the double movement for a minute. When she gets into, if it tries to get too close, she'll cast it.
Gotcha.
And I think she can do that like quite a few times.
So interesting thing, she's running, and this is a very bleak moment. Like you're running through the cold, the dark, through the trees. This thing is obviously coming after you. Sometimes it gets a little closer. Sometimes you gain some room on it. At one point, you hear the screech, and you hear the trees rustle, and a hawk flies down and hits it in the face, or tries to, and you hear it kind of like do this ghastly moan, and it like swings at the hawk and misses it. You kind of vaguely become aware that there seems to be something running alongside you at points, and then you hear like this snapping of brush.
Okay, what time is it? We're about 5. No, not quite.
And you hear the thing like veer off quickly in another direction, and then it kind of comes back to following you. You get the sense that Kerrigan is trying to basically kind of keep pace and kind of use her hawk to like keep it busy. But you guys are running, but you realize, man, this thing is hot on my tail. Now here's a question. An hour from now, are you trying to end up back at the cave? Or where do you plan to be in an hour?
If I do an hour and I think I can count it just right, then I'm going to start heading to the...
I guess that's not really combat then, because he's talking about leading a thing, chasing him for an hour. Let's go to this. We're going to try this one. Again, looking for fast combat. Again, we have an initiative thing. It doesn't look to me like it's what you described, but...
Okay, so that's going to be that. Second. Here we go. Blam. And add that.
This is combat.
So 5.
Okay. So it doesn't. It kind of looks over at you when it gets hit with the magic missiles, but it doesn't seem particular.
Sir, your chair needs a little bit of WD-40 or something.
Particularly goaded in the winking department. All right, now we're going to go to Lotto. Now Lotto kind of says, "I've had enough. This creature will be reunited with the rock and the earth." And he goes charging. And he goes running up to it, and he tries.
You've Mr. Philosophy. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 players. Why do you have so many NPCs on top of the players that you have?
To make an unarmed strike. Oh, nat 20.
Nice.
He like slaps it, and you see like the creature it goes through the force, and he slaps the creature in the face, and its head actually whips to the side, and then he's going to try to throw it to the ground, but actually that's very unlikely to happen. But we're going to see. It rolls with no, it wouldn't be advantage. It's not impossible, but it's very unlikely.
Okay. Is this an example of don't obsess over NPC stats where you're just kind of pulling the numbers out They're not actually in front of you anywhere. You're just kind of eyeballing it. I'm going to say this is eyeballing it.
What does he get? Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Damn.
Oh, no, 23. No, that's so bad. Okay. You see him slap the creature with a, and this is an interesting thing that you notice. When he slaps it, it seems to take damage. But when he tries to throw it, unfortunately, it just continues to float in the air. It does not get thrown. But this confirms to you that Lotto's palm strikes do magical damage. And that will be the end of Lotto's turn. It is now Valenti's turn.
Man, we're
Now,
on the same
at the
map
beginning of
for
Valenti's
3
turn, Valenti,
and
roll
a
me a
half
religion
hours. How is it fast combat? It's in the same map for 3.5 hours. Look at this. Did you just do different encounters on the same map for 3.5? This is the same map from session 8, right? Yes, it is. It's the same map from session 8. I'm curious. Where does session there? Look at that. How many hours is this one? 3 hours, 17 minutes. Episode 8, 3 hours, 26 minutes. Do we have any other? I'm just going through. I'm just looking for a different map, I guess. Is that no? That's the same map.
You said religion?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
We're looking for DC 12 or better.
DC 12 or better. Let's see what she can roll here.
Don't just roll physical dice. If it's that hard to get the program to roll for you, just roll physical dice.
It's 17.
Oh, yeah. So Valenti is looking at this creature. She's getting ready. I mean, she's right in front of it, has her bow out. And suddenly there's this whisper in her ear, and she hears the voice of the bear. This is only the beginning. This creature represents death, but it serves. It serves the master who dominates this world, this land. Kill it. Wrath will only be brought upon you. Flee it, and he will never stop pursuing. Succumb to it, surrender, and forfeit your soul. This is what we fight. This is Norskull's fight. And then you would see this vision of a flame in the south, this ever-growing flame that grows brighter and brighter. And they would say, they would seek to destroy everything. And then Valenti would snap back to reality. She's holding her bow.
I don't surrender. I will destroy you. And she will. Ooh, I can't move. Let me see.
Oh, do you need to? Did you lose control of your character?
Can't tell. Let me see.
Look at the tab real quick. Let me see if that helps. Because my tab's been acting crazy all night.
There we go. I got her. It just had the. I was
hot
behind the name.
Hot. All right, go for it.
All right, so she's just gonna. She needs to get distance, and she's going to. She's just gonna scream at it. You will be destroyed here, creature of darkness and death. And she will. She'll spit at it, but trying to get its attention, and she will move this way to about over here. So I guess it can take its opportunity attack if it wants.
Yeah, I was going to ask if she has an ability that prevents that.
No, she's not trying to use her bonus action to prevent that. So she's...
All right, here we go. It's trying its action Here we go. It swipes at her with its sword. Ooh, a 24 to hit. Does that hit?
Dang it. Yeah, it does hit.
So she feels this fiery slash across her back as she's running. Uh-oh, my computer's acting up. I got to reboot this. My computer keeps flickering this screen for some reason. That's okay. Can you all still hear me?
Yes.
All right, very good. All right, so here's what happens. For damage, Valenti takes 15 points of damage, and for the record, it would be force damage, in case that matters. But she also needs to make a Constitution saving throw, 16.
On the exhaustion, that's only for skill checks, not for saves, right?
Yes, no, that does not affect your saves.
Okay, and Constitution's
Con saving throw of 16, and this is a very important con saving throw. So if you have any luck points or anything, now would be the time. So possibly.
Unfortunately, I don't. That's her worst.
If you can think of anything that'll give you a bonus, let me know.
Let's see, does she have anything?
Just kill the character right now, please.
I don't think she does. Unfortunately.
William, why is it taking so long? It's one dice roll. Make a con save. Done.
Definitely no. It's only for the charm condition she gets anything. So, all right, let's see what it rolls. She rolls a 3.
Oh, so it slashes you and you feel the hot pain, but then something else happens. You feel this fiery pain flash through your brain.
We've got how many other players to go through here for one round of combat, plus all of your NPCs?
To your body, you see something. You see this eye cloaked in red flames. You hear this loud noise. Is that laughter?
No.
Is some kind of malevolent growling laughter. And then she needs to make another con saving throw. This one is a DC 12.
Man, please.
I'm gonna roll it on here.
But she doesn't feel right. Something isn't quite right. She feels something.
That's a 9.
Oh, so
con is the worst.
this is very bad. But unfortunately, Valenti, she gets hit with this, and by the time she reaches the place she was running to, she's staggering, and the blood is dripping onto the ground. She's realized her movement has been reduced by half, and she has no bonus actions, no reactions, only actions, and she's rolling at disadvantage for everything she tries to do now. And she feels this growing darkness creeping into her back, like she can almost see this illness, this sickness, this disease creeping into her. She realizes she's been infected with something magical, something very diabolical. All right, it's Valenti's turn. What is Valenti going to do?
Dang it! That's what I needed with the bonus action.
Yes.
All right.
It's very bad situation.
Well, that kind of throws that off a little bit. All right.
Maybe Valenti makes eye contact with Kerrigan, and Kerrigan looks over like,
why are you playing the character? You're not playing Valenti. Why are you... now you're making his character make eye contact with the other NPC that you are playing, Kerrigan. How many turns do you need?
She suffered the same fate. She feels the same thing. There's something malevolent about this creature, something deeply malevolent about its attacks and its abilities.
She's just going to grin and bear it and shoot all 3 arrows again.
Roll to hit.
And that's what's a disadvantage, right?
With what?
You said disadvantage?
Yes, unfortunately. But also, you should let me know if any of them hit. I need to know which ones are magical and which ones are not, because that makes a difference.
Okay, so 18 on the first one.
The arrow just flies to the side. It does not make it through the force damage. for the force armor.
Nope. That one will miss 2.
Uh-oh, another arrow flies to the side.
Okay, I'm looking for tip 5.
And
Make
that one will
player
miss too.
turns matter.
Oh, no, you guys see all 3 arrows just your Valenti, who usually deals out incredible amounts of damage, her arrows are falling, are just flying to the side. And also you guys notice in her step, in her gait, like there's a droop to her, like something isn't right. There's something not quite right going on with Valenti. Valenti, is that the end of your turn, or do you have more things?
She will just roar, scream.
Scream in anger, rage.
Yeah, she screams in anger.
In anger. Roll a religion check.
Okay, let's see. So that's. She usually doesn't. She usually keeps her calm, but you can tell she's kind of losing it right now.
Okay,
She seems very frustrated and angry. Nobody's seen it in
to the
group
next
yet,
player's turn?
No, 8.
Nothing and this happening. I mean, you're mounted freaking
Away. And I'm gonna repeat what I did last turn. But I'm gonna slash at it first.
okay.
So that is a 24 to hit.
Oh, you slice through whatever force is repelling attacks, and it finds its mark.
It's
Roll
only
damage.
5. It's only 5 damage.
Is it magical or non-magical?
No, it's not magical.
Okay.
So yeah.
So
I
it
figured-
slices through. The creature kind of shrieks a bit, like not loudly, but just like a mild shriek.
And then I am going to use my bonus action to ignite my wings, my draconic wings.
Okay.
And I'm going to fly up directly above it and then breathe fire directly down on top of it.
All right. Now here's a question: are you leaving its threat range?
No.
I.e., provoking attack of opportunity?
No,
Okay.
I want to stay within its range. I am just doing this because I don't want to risk hitting anyone that could be in a line.
All right. What is the DC?
DC 12 Dex.
All right. Here we go. I'm making a roll here. This is the roll. Oh, it makes a 19.
Okay, so I rolled a 19 damage, so it would take about 10 damage.
Gotcha. Okay, 10. Okay. It takes it. It's like shrieks again. You guys realize that the creature shrieks a little bit more this time. It seems that it might be nearing a point of real damage or death, but it's still kicking at this point. Sol, do you have any more? Do you have now? Wait a minute. Since you left Eos, Eos is gonna make an attack.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Eos rears up and strikes with its paws.
Oh, beautiful.
Or with its hooves.
Another NPC? Really?
Oh, it makes it 20. That actually fine. Wait a minute. Let me think about this for a second. Wait a minute. I gotta check my notes. Oh, it barely finds.
Can we go to the next player? Let's see.
Yeah, because I was going to say...
Do you happen to know what the damage on Eos hooves are?
It is 1d8 radiant. Well, it would have been 1d8 plus the spell's level.
Gotcha.
Which is
it's
second
a little
level.
Different now. It's a little different now.
Yeah, but it was
right.
1d8
So
radiant.
Nowadays, it wouldn't be radiant either. It's just 4 mundane.
Oh, interesting.
But it's going to be plus the strength. Does
Yeah.
this creature have a strength modifier goal?
Yes.
Use some damage. But a few animal sounds I can do relatively passively.
Faylene will clench a fist and just be like, "Come on, come to me," and she'll use her innate sorcery as a bonus action, which sends these like tendrils of blue flame up her arms to give herself advantage.
Okay.
And then she will kind of gather this like little whirlwind of, like, it grows out of her hand into a little whirlwind of fire and cast Scorching Ray.
Okay. Very good. Roll to hit.
Okay, first one is a 19.
Unfortunately, that is deflected.
Okay, second one is a 22.
That will hit.
And last one is a 25.
That will hit as well. Roll damage on 2 scorching rays.
Okay. So that'll hit for, let me just check something really quick.
Is this fast? No, this is not fast. This is not fast. I'm very disappointed. I had high hopes. But this is not fast. The search continues. We haven't given up hope. We're going to keep looking. This is what we're going to do. We're going to keep looking for new ideas for fast, exciting combat. And we're going to try to see if we can find some. You know, I've got an idea here. Listen to this. Listen to this. If you've made it this long. We're going to take a look at we're going to take a look at the masters, the true masters. I mean, we're all just amateurs. We're at the kiddie table, and the big guys, they know what they're doing, right? Let's do it. Let's do an unsolicited advice, focused in on combat. Let's tackle the biggest. Mr. Mercer, we're going to take a look. Combat from the master. I mean, I've had many lists I've looked at that said clearly we should copy what Matt Mercer is doing for his combat. Matt Mercer does a lot of things really good. I'm not trying to throw shade here. He does a lot of things well. Excellent even. And I've heard that his trick to keep combat going super fast, like lightning fast combat, is to tell whose turn it is on deck. Let's see if that actually helps. What do you say? What do you say? I think we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about these 5 tips from Mr. GM Philosophy. Just to recap, because I don't want to skip over what he said here. He did some work on this. Number 1, roll only for the initial initiative. Don't do the whole list of whatever. Just go in order. You, then you, then you, then you. Just around the table. Clockwise, counterclockwise, doesn't really much matter. Just go quick. Don't obsess over NPC stats. That's what he said. Looked to me like he was just kind of winging it a lot. Some people like that. Overlap turns. Didn't see a lot of that, but I'm worried it's going to cause some confusion as to whose turn it is. Drama and description. Yeah, we did see some of that. He definitely was doing that. But again, just these random religion checks in the middle of combat. I don't know. Didn't seem very fast. And then making player turns matter. I didn't see much of that. Maybe if we had to watch into later on, after several more failures, then that started to become apparent. I don't know. It just didn't seem very fast to me. It seemed very slow. I could have missed it. Admittedly, these were fairly long sessions, and I didn't go through them with a fine-tooth comb. But appreciate you putting your games up online. Thank you, Mr. GM Philosophy. I appreciate you doing that. And thanks for sharing your games with us. And thanks for giving us your thoughts as to what makes for faster combat. We're gonna keep looking, and we'll share with what we find that actually does result in some fast, exciting combat. Lightning fast even. Until then, take very good care. Thank you for watching. I will look forward to catching you on the next one. Bye.